Hello everybody and welcome to the Adventures of Drawing. I will draw a scene for you today using a variety of pencils, a smudging tool and an eraser. So without further ado, let's go right into this. I set myself up the little area within a frame for my scene. I'm not going to draw a horizon line today, just to see how that's going to work out. And yeah, also just to try it. And because I'm not going to specifically need one for this scene that I have in mind right here, so I draw myself the outline of a mountain in the distance. And because I didn't draw a horizon line, I guess I forgot to draw in the sky. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Down to the base of the mountain, just give it a light gray for the sky. Maybe I would have forgotten the sky anyway. Maybe that's just an excuse. The fact that the statement that I didn't draw it because I didn't draw a horizon line today. But maybe it is the reason, I don't know. Also, I'm just rambling, saying things so that you hear things. So not everything has to be true or enlightening or whatever. Just here to have you have a good time, to maybe, hopefully, I don't know, kind of amaze you with how a drawing is appearing right in front of you. Okay, let's have a little cloud up here. And maybe one down there. Let's have this one go behind the mountain. Right here. Not that small anymore. Okay, and while I'm at it, I don't need to erase any area behind the mountain since I'm going to make it gray later anyway. Let me knock off the eraser residue. Okay, and then I'll use the HB pencil to go in and create a shadow area in this cloud right here. Something's humming in my room. I don't know if it's the neighbor snoring or if I've got an insect in here. Would be a rather large one, but I don't remember opening the windows in a couple of hours. So I don't even know how it could have come in here. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. Okay, sunlight's going to come from the left, and I'm adding in the wrong type of shadows. Since, of course, if the light comes from the left, we're going to have bright areas on the left side. So let me draw something over those incorrectly placed shadows. Have those C shapes open to the left instead of to the right. Okay, something right here. There's still a sky value inside of this cloud. I had to quickly get rid of that. Okay, just a couple shadows in here, up there, up here for this volume, up there. And then I'll quickly do the same thing for this cloud right here. Just a bunch of inverted C's that open to the left. Some over here. Okay, then I'll grab the smudging tool and make all those lines softer. So it looks like a really fluffy cloud up in here. Okay, right there. And same thing down here. I want to especially blend the area or the transition from the lower area of the cloud to the side area. Since there the shadow goes from the darkest value for the cloud to a brighter value. Okay, just fluffing that up a little bit. All right. Next thing is going to be this mountain, and I want it to be a little darker than the sky, so I'll just lock that in. Make it a little darker, still using the HB pencil. I'll put the pencil at an angle right here, drawing horizontally so I can make this mountain value fade out to the lower area. Let it fade out towards the base of the mountain. It's rather dark up here, or it's not that dark, considering I'm still drawing with the HB pencil, but it's getting even lighter down here, like so. Okay, now I'll take the smudging tool, fill in this very much too white area of the cloud in here, and then I'll make this mountain really smooth as well, since I'm just considered with the value right now and not the texture. Right now I'm just setting it apart from the sky and making it fade out towards the base. So we've got some misty area down there. Okay, now I need some shadows, and what I'm going to do is draw some shapes down here below the areas of the outline that slope down towards the right, like so, and then I just cross hatch those. Like so. Maybe also do that horizontally. And let it fade out down towards the base right right here. Okay. Now to add some detail, this area is already rather dark. Not going to do anything in there, but in here I'm going to cross-hatch some more areas of the face of the mountain to create a couple of different inclinations in here. Going down there, let's have some stuff in here, and I can really leave in those lines that I'm making right now, since that already gives the face of the mountain a certain structure. Maybe like this. Okay, now I'll take the HB pencil and do the same thing for the light area right here. Let's see, maybe we've got a little bit of a different inclination there, and maybe in here, maybe something going up there, like so, and a little bit in here. Okay, now over to this left peak. A little bit like so. Couple of cracks coming down. And something down here. Okay, maybe like that. Alright, that's our background. Now we're going to draw a nice little midground. And I'm already going to set up my foreground so I don't have to draw this entire area, just so that I know where my foreground is going to be, so I'll save myself some time. Instead of filling most of this front area in with the midground, where I'll later erase a lot, I'll just block in the foreground so that I know where I can stop drawing. Okay, in here, the way I'm setting up my midground is by just drawing a couple of wavy lines. And then I want some trees to grow there. So I'll just chain together some half circles, or just chain together some M's with very irregular sizes for each segment. Now you can really let yourself loose. You don't have to try and concentrate and make every arc the same size as the other ones. This is not primary school where we learn writing. We are drawing right now and we want irregularities. Because as far as I'm concerned, we have a lot of irregular things in nature. You'd have to go into crystal structures to have regular patterns, and that's not something I'm ever going to draw, at least not as an artistic drawing. Maybe if I'd learn the crystal structures, I'd draw them in a notebook. But I'm not doing that. I'm just drawing those trees. Tree lines up in here. Now I'm filling in the areas below those trees. But I'm leaving a bright area when I approach the next lower tree line. That's going to give the impression of those trees living on all sorts of hills. And in between the hills, in the valleys, the mist collects. Okay, to enhance that impression of the mist, I'm going to first extend the base of the mountain a little more down in here, and then I will use the smudging tool to blend those areas down here. Grab the graphite at the top of the trees and pull it down into the valley to make the lines disappear. Make sure to leave a light area down there. That's the mist. And it separates the different layers in the drawing. Okay. Now that that's done, we can already go to our foreground. And first of all, I think I'll have to give it a value with the HB pencil. Now I'm making very large lines, wide lines in here. A little bit careful on the outline, but otherwise you can just use wide lines for this to cover a lot of ground and also to give some structure to our foreground. Okay. Now, since that's all too messy, I could leave it at that. That would just make the foreground look a little bit more vivid, a little more, I don't know, moved or chaotic, I'd say. But I want it a little calmer, so I'm going to blend those lines. Don't really want to get rid of all of them, since then I'd have no structure at all again, which is possible as well. I'm going to give it structure later anyway, but I want there to be a little bit of structure already. All right. Going to my HB pencil again. Check that. Let's take the 3B pencil and go along the outlines of the foreground, occasionally going into the volume, just with a couple of lines. That gives it a little more detail, just some minor changes in elevation in the foreground popping out from the ridge up here. Then maybe something zigzagging down there. And then here we've got the last area of the foreground. Where did that end? Okay. Maybe like so. Okay. Now I want a tree in there that's going to grow right here. And I had a couple of thoughts about what that's going to look like, also to help me not stumble right now when I want to draw it. But I still have to kind of improvise right now. Let's go with a little bit like that, and then right here. And since normally I draw trees that have rather straight trunks that just go straight up into the sky, right now I want a tree that's completely the opposite. Goes, maybe it's this wide up here, getting a little narrower as we go up. Then we've got a bend in here where it does a little bit like this, right? And then there's a second part of the trunk coming up from the side that is turned away from us. And that's going to go up here. Let me just wing it. Shouldn't be concerned too much. I want there to be a little hole in between those two parts of the trunks. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is erase everything that's behind this tree. Ground down here. And I'm going to also get rid of the sky, at least at the left part, so that I can have a really nice and crisp, bright sun area. Okay, like so. Now, I've got to construct some roots down here. Some go beyond this ridge of this small elevation right there. Then the tree trunk would be on the ground like this, maybe down here. So we've got a root going down there. And maybe there's another one right here. and one going down to the side like this. This is a root as well. And then we've got this one right here. Okay. Gotta erase this part of the ground as well. And down here, back there. Okay. Now I will use the 3B pencil and go in on the right side of the tree to create a shadow area. Okay, back there and all the way maybe to the middle of the trunk. Also, this area is turned away from the sun. So we've got our shadow area right here. Now, as I create this, I have to make sure I don't straighten up the edge of the tree. Gotta make sure I'm following this nice and curvy outline. Up there it's going to be sunlight though, so I've got to be careful here. Shadow goes maybe around like this. Let's get a little bit lighter towards the left. Okay. And then this area down here is going to be in the shadow. Not too much though. Let's get lighter here already. Okay. Next thing is going to be the HB pencil and go into the mid values. All those areas right here that aren't facing directly to the right, but aren't facing towards the light completely either, are going to be light gray, like this. Okay, but I want to make sure I leave the very left edge almost completely blank. Maybe go in there a little bit. But leave it rather light. Okay, I'm realizing I've forgotten the second part of the trunk that bifurcates over there, but that's absolutely not a problem. I can just put that in right now. Up there and in here. Roughly to the middle, and then I swap to the HB pencil again to create the mid values. Alright, now I want some structure on this tree, but it's not going to be what I normally do. I think this tree bark is rather smooth, and there are just some elements where it broke, or where there's some sort of, it's not necessarily a ripping, but just as I draw it, maybe you will recognize the type of structure that I want to show in this tree. So it's not completely round. So in some instances, we've got areas where there's more shadow on the left side right here. Just some dents, natural dents that occur in the shape of the tree. One over here. Maybe that bifurcates right there. And then this structure in the bark that I was talking about. Maybe I can fill one in right there. Maybe like this. And a little bit like that in here. Up there. We want some detail as well. Don't want to forget this other part. Okay. And then let's do this in the shadow side as well. Maybe one more down here. Okay. Only thing that's missing are a couple of branches now. I don't want too many, but I just indicate a couple with my HB pencil. One coming right there, down here, another one over there, and maybe one more from the other side of the tree, winding down here and overlapping with the mountain in the background. Okay, of course those branches are going to have volumes as well, and normally I wouldn't concern myself with giving them a value. I mostly just draw them in with a dark value. But right now, maybe I'm going to make them look three-dimensional, giving them a thickness as they are thicker closer to the trunk. And then give them a shadow and a light side as well. Thinking about how this shape's going to be, but I think I'll just simplify it for myself and draw a line next to this first line that I made and not overcomplicate this. Okay, Swapping back to the 3D pencil. I'll make the end dark right now. Let's say there's a thicker area right here. And then we've got our shadow side down there. And let's make a transition to the light side, like so. Same for this one. Up here, over here. Down here. Oops. And now this one. And the shadow area in here. Maybe like that. Okay, let's have a couple of bifurcations for those branches. Some more. Over there. One more here. And then a couple for this one. And the last one back here. All right. And there you go. There we've got our tree. So, there's our scene for today. Let me clean up those edges real quick. Up in here. So, okay. And down here. That's rather good already, so I don't need to take away too much over there. Now, let me get rid of that residue. All right. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it. maybe some motivation to get something done, to draw yourself, or to do some other type of work with the video just as ASMR in the background. Whatever you do, I hope this little stream sweetened it. If you find yourself coming back to the channel, please consider subscribing. Leave a like if you liked today's video, and drop down in the comments to tell me what you think about what I'm doing here. Maybe you've got something to tell me about my motifs or my technique or my type of talking to you. Whatever it is, positive or negative, I'd like to hear it. So, with all that said, thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.